Publix family, what a year it has been. We've persevered through an unprecedented pandemic, supported each other in our communities, and continued to deliver outstanding customer experiences in our stores. It's truly remarkable to me what this company is able to accomplish. I believe that each day, simply by having a Publix in our neighborhood, our communities are made a better place to live. And it's not just the building. It's not the decor or the foods and products that we sell that make Publix. It's you. It's the culture of ownership, promotion from within, and focus as responsible citizens in our communities that continues to drive our success. As associate owners at one of the most valued and admired companies in the entire world, we have a lot to be thankful for. One of the things I personally love about our culture is that we humbly and willingly share that success with our community. We seek out ways to get involved. In fact, in 2021 alone, stores in the North Alabama market collectively volunteered at over 40 events to support United Way partner agencies. At a time when other companies are shying away from social involvement, Publix associates are focused on finding ways to continue to support those most fragile in our communities. Through our involvement in these agencies, we're helping children who rely on school lunch programs for nutrition to continue to receive food despite school closures. That homebound senior citizens in our community have nutritious vegetables, and that those with limited mobility are able to safely leave their homes with the aid of wheelchair ramps. We have revitalized food pantries, supported agencies who intervene in cases of abuse and family crisis, and have been a constant fixture at Manna House for 6 months straight, serving hot meals and preparing Perks backpacks for children. It's not only in our volunteers and that Publix leads the way, it's also our financial support for United Way. During a time when need for the services our United Way partner agencies provide has never been higher, Publix associates stepped up to fill the gaps. Publix associates collectively gave over $62 million to support United Way agencies across our operating areas. This is the highest campaign on the entire planet. And the best part of all, that $62 million stays in municipalities where it was raised to benefit those who need it most. Plain and simple, simply by having a Publix sitting on the street corner, your community will be a stronger and better place to call home because of this. So who benefits from all of our donations, and how does it all work? The answer may surprise you. Chances are there are people you come across every day, maybe even some who you work side by side with, that have at one time needed these services. The thing about it is, no one ever plans to be in need. But when you find yourself there, it's very easy to feel hopeless and alone. The United Way is here to ensure that when we fall into such situations, someone is there to catch us and put us on the path back towards hope. I would now like to introduce you to a good friend of mine, Miss Addie Wagner, who has a special story to illustrate just how powerful the United Way can be and how important you are in changing the lives of people in our community. Thank you so much for listening.
My name is Addie Wagner, and I'm a longtime Publix shopper. I love visiting my local Publix because it's always clean, it's well stocked, the smiling faces greet me at the door, and it's just overall a really wonderful experience for me every time I come. And you may not know me, but you likely helped save my life. When you donated to your local United Way, you helped participate in me pursuing a better life by escaping the situation that I was in.
Please be advised that some of my story may be triggering for some. Please practice your self-care if you need to. So I married my ex after just a few months of dating after we found out that we were pregnant. He swept me off my feet. He was very charming, and we seemed to share the same goals and desires and things that we enjoyed, but that did not last. He was often very manipulative, critical, and dishonest. He would keep me up all night arguing. He often used drugs. He would engage in a lot of gaslighting behavior, or what we used to call crazy making, but we don't call it that anymore. It's called gaslighting. And he would say things that scared me. He would often lie about where he was or where he was going, who he was with. And where we lived, I was isolated from my friends and family in a city that I was completely unfamiliar with. And he was basically my only family there. And he would often throw away my things. He would leave without saying a word, and would often become irrationally angry or upset over seemingly minor things. I tried to make it work as best I could, but in truth, I was very terrified. Several months after our child was born, we moved back to the Huntsville area for his new job and to be closer to my family so they could help with the baby and be involved in the baby's life. And this is where things kind of escalated. He was hostile. He would hit walls, countertops near me. He would get angry if any of my friends or family came over. He constantly criticized me for my parenting. And then after a couple months of this, he said he wanted to divorce me. After that, he started making the household completely inhospitable. I witnessed him being a little bit aggressive with our baby on a couple of occasions, and just some red flags were really going up. And with that, it became so inhospitable that one day while he was at work, I moved my child and I out and into my parents' home. And to help with this transition, which was very hard, I sought out low-cost counseling from the Family Services Center, and I was fortunate to get accepted and receive amazing care, therapeutic care from them to help me navigate that really, really difficult time. And once that grisly divorce was finalized, my ex and I entered into a brief period of calm. There were always heightened incidents that would occur here or there, but by and large, it was fairly calm. And I was able to get back on my feet and move out of my parents' home. I entered school to earn my bachelor's degree and rebuild my life. But the calm didn't last, of course. Unfortunately, my ex suffers from a severe mental disorder that was untreated for a very long time. And he entered into a severe psychotic episode that lasted nearly 6 months and ended up in a equally as lengthy hospital stay to get him stabilized. During the episode, though, he became volatile, very hostile and threatening. He would text me and other family members constantly. He threatened to take our daughter across the country to California. He defaced his family's property. He threatened city officials and county officials, hospital staff, his employer. And it was truly terrifying. Police were notified and they patrolled the neighborhood where I lived more frequently to try to help me stay safe. So I went down to the probate court office and filled out the paperwork, and I noticed there was a number taped to the wall stating that if you were looking for a PFA, you could call this number for assistance, and so I did. And this is where I got connected with one of the wonderful advocates from Crisis Services of North Alabama. And this advocate was able to communicate with me tips to stay safe, tips to understanding the PFA, the protection from abuse, and to ensure that I was prepared for the hearing when I went before the judge. They were so kind and courteous and made sure that I knew exactly what I needed to do to feel safe. And additionally, while I was staying elsewhere, they have a domestic violence responder who contacted me daily to ensure that I was still safe. They let me know that they had a room at the Hope Place shelter available should I feel unsafe, that I could go to and stay with my child and be completely secure. And I consider myself a lucky one. I was able to stay safe, and this fueled my fire to help others. After I completed a Bachelor's of Science in Behavioral Sciences at Athens State University, I knew I wanted to go on and help others who face similar circumstances. And in 2017, after hearing multiple radio ads and a friend telling me I needed to do it, I sent in my volunteer application to Crisis Services. It was accepted, and I completed a fabulous 6-week training course that empowered me with the skills to crisis counsel callers on the helpline. And after nearly a year volunteering on this helpline, I applied for the position of sexual assault prevention educator. And I have occupied that role now for 3 years. And I proudly work alongside some of the most caring, fierce, kind, and generous people who are truly passionate about providing care to individuals escaping domestic violence, seeking forensic exam after a sexual assault, looking for information and resources from their community, or treading the path of healing after such traumas.
My transformation from victim survivor to thriver would not be possible without the generosity of the people in my community. When you give to your local United Way, you contribute to people's lives in such a very meaningful way, like the support that you provide to me to get through difficult situations and seek the care and help that I needed. Thank you all so much for your generosity.
Hello, I'm Claudia Bucher, Director of Development for United Way of Madison County. Addie's story of survival is remarkable. 1 in 4 women and 1 in 9 men are victims of domestic violence. Domestic abuse leads to more than 30,000 deaths a year worldwide. That's pretty heavy stuff. Thanks to caring, compassionate, and generous people like Publix associates, there are solutions for community issues through United Way's partner agencies. Thank you for your financial support and your countless volunteer hours that you devote to feeding the hungry, mentoring children, caring for the elderly, and much, much more. Together, we can create hope.